to the first ever Fiberreed podcast, where we get to meet Harry Hartmann, the owner and creator of Fiberreed.
Hi, Johannes. Hi, Danny.
Hello, Harry.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you
again. Something new.
This is something brand new. Yeah.
I've never done this in my life before. It's the first time.
Yes, well, it's got to be a first time for everything. This is the world premiere of the Fiberreed podcast, video podcast, and we're excited. We're excited to see you in your setting over there.
Yes, I'm absolutely here at the place where I'm sitting every day. And sometimes even in the night.
Yes, I have talked to you there many times at your desk, as you have shown me around the factory there. It's a very super interesting place. I love coming to visit. So
yeah, it was growing for the last more than 30 years. I'm doing this now, and it's growing all the time, growing slowly, but it's growing, and so I'm still there.
Yes. So we've been working together for a while, for over 10 years, and our friend Johannes is here too. He's helping us with putting this together.
My pleasure.
Hey, Johannes, we'll get to see you next time.
Yeah, we had some problems with the video, so unfortunately we cannot see Johannes right now, but we hear him at least.
Yeah, incognito.
So, Harry, let's just jump right in, I guess. We got a few questions for you, and just to kind of initiate this whole process, and hopefully we'll get to talk to you, a bunch more times. But this is just the first session, and we'll kind of keep it, short and sweet as far as video and podcast lengths go. There's some people out there that will go on for 3 and 4 hours, so we won't put you through that. But you started out as a musician, I believe. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. I was studying in. Well, at first, I didn't know what to do after I finished school, or I did know too many things, so I didn't know. It was hard for me to decide what was the right thing. I wanted to learn something with tone engineer, and in Germany it's called Tonmeister. It's something between in the tone studio, between the musician and the studio. The kind of the high level sound engineer, because you have to read all the partitures and everything. And but my piano playing was not good enough for that, and so I decided to study saxophone in Cologne. But I wasn't playing very long, and the level in Cologne was really high, and I didn't pass the examination in Cologne. And finally, I decided, okay, I'm learning mechanical engineer in Stuttgart. So I went to Stuttgart and started to study mechanical engineer. And after a few months, it was very clear I can't continue with this, because it's terrible. You have to know so much mathematics and physics. I don't know if you call it physics, Physikunterricht in German. How do you say it?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's physics. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so more than 50% of the students don't pass the intermediate exam after 2 years, and I didn't like the surrounding, the people very much. So. And I found out, there's a university in Stuttgart and you can study saxophone. It was just really new. And so there I was the second semester where you could apply, and I was going there and playing in front of the professor, the teacher there. and he said, "Okay, go to my student, and he will give you lesson." And he told me after, "Oh, I wasn't very good, and he didn't believe in me." So, but finally, he had a new student for his own student, and then I started to practice really hard every day, like 3, 4, 5 hours. I had a little room in a heating. It was downstairs in the cellar. How you say the
cellar,
basement?
yeah, in the basement.
In the basement, in the heating room, because it was hard to find a room where you can practice and not disturbing anybody. And I was really practicing very, very hard. I think one of the most intensive practicing times in my life. And then I was coming to the Aufnahmeprüfung, to the examination, and there were 3 students. Now there are maybe 30, 40, or 50 for 1 or 2 places. But at that time, it was in the beginning, there were 3 students, or 1 didn't came, so 2 were left, and they took me. So that's how I started to study saxophone in Stuttgart.
Oh wow!
Interesting. Wow. And you were never cold while practicing either in the heating basement. I guess that's a plus.
Well, yeah. Well, later I found another place where I could practice also, because in the university you have practice rooms. Though then it was easier. But the teacher saw that I made a big progress, and that was the reason he was taking me, because he saw, wow, this guy, he can learn a lot in a short time. So that was why he took me. But the other guy, the second, was taken the next year. So
okay, well, that speaks to the the idea that practice really does pay off when you're in music. It's not all just talent and God-given.
Sure,
talent.
when you are a beginner, well, I was not a beginner, but in compared to what you can learn, I was not a bloody beginner. I was able to play, but the level was not really high, and it pays off if you practice, because you have to learn the language, you have to learn the ABC, and then the talent, when you can speak the language, you are able to speak with the language, and then you can show your talent and your creativity. But you have to know the tools, and that you are able to speak and to work and to show what you have to show, what is inside of you.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I've heard I've heard the fruits of that labor, because you've let me listen to some of your recordings that you later did with your jazz trio or quartet, the White Diamonds, I believe, right? And you did a lot of performing during that time.
Yes, we started as a trio, the White Diamonds. It was the bass, double bass, and drums. And later, well, we made at that time, it was 1990, I think 1993, something about. It was just about during this Gorbachev time, and we were traveling. I was traveling with a theater to Russia. It was a kids theater, and we had some exchange with another kids theater in Moscow, and we also did some travel to other cities like Petrozavodsk and Murmansk. We were traveling around, and then I met a guitar player in Moscow, and finally I invited him, and he came here, and then we made the recording with him, and later also with a Indian tabla player.
Wow,
so
nice.
That's amazing.
We have different, and also I think there is a recording on the Apple Music or well, at least you can download it, album of the White Diamonds, and one, I think it's also with a DJ, because we also work with a DJ and released a double album.
That is so cool. Yeah, I the stuff that I've heard is it's very very high level and interesting music and fun to listen to. So gives you a lot of credibility in the saxophone world for sure. And then you I guess at some point you decided that you wanted to move into trying some of your engineering skills out on producing reeds. How did you make that transition, and how do you feel like the engineering and the music relate to each other and inform each other?
Well, I think it's my nature, because I am a creative, inventing nature. I love to invent things. I also love to repair things. On the weekends, I enjoy and relax by cooking or repairing, or sometimes even doing nothing. But this is seldom. Most of the time, I'm doing something, and yes. When I was in the university, I found out that the string instrument players, they have synthetic strings, like the nylon guitar strings or the metal strings in the piano, and also the whole world is playing on synthetic drum set skins.
Right.
Only a few people, like for the Latin percussion, there are still some people who prefer the natural skin, but almost everywhere is used synthetic skin. Even the classical, how you say, pauke,
the timpanis, yeah, the timpanis,
yeah, because they have to stay in tune. So the synthetic material has a lot of advantages. And I saw that the reeds, the whole instrument for the reeds, like the bassoon, the oboe, and the clarinet and saxophone, almost everybody was playing on natural cane, and it has a lot of disadvantages. So I thought, well, why don't we have anything better than cane? It should be possible. So, and then I had the motivation to start, and I was starting. And well, at that time, I didn't have any money at all. I had a little place, like a garden house. So I found that garden house. It was nice because I could play day and night, disturbing nobody. It was very cheap. And so this was a place I was doing the inventions, and it was a process over a long time, but finally I was taking some picture. Well, I was looking through a microscope and saw the structure of the natural cane. I still have some picture here, and I saw something like, oh, can you see, like this?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the sides are different.
Yeah.
The big holes are the longitudinal feeding fibers, and the things around this is like a cellular structure,
Right.
like bubbles. And I thought, oh, this is interesting. That's how the cane is working, and I just have to rebuild the same structure with synthetic materials. And this was the way I was, how you say, trying to invent something which is close to the cane, or not close and better. And so I started researching. At that time, that means being on the phone for hours and hours and calling the big companies, and most of them, they are not interested because they see you are really a small or no company, a private person, but you find again and again, you find persons who are really nice, who play clarinet or saxophone, and say, oh yes, of course, we will help you. And so they were sending me materials for prototyping, because I had to do a weaving. That was the idea. I said, okay, I have to do a weaving. So, but no weaving company will do 1 square meter. They do
Right.
1,000 is okay, maybe to start, but not like 1 or 2. And I didn't need more. So I started weaving by a hand weaving frame, weaving my first materials for the first prototypes. They are all
Wow.
made by hand weaving. So that's how I started inventing the weave.
That's amazing. That's amazing to actually have to sit there and do your own threading and your own weaving to come up with the materials. What kind of materials did you try out for to start with? That
Well, you couldn't buy a weaving with hollow fibers, because I thought, okay, I need hollow fibers. So after a few weeks or months, I found a company who had some hollow fibers which could fit to what I needed. And so the idea was, I take a weaving and exchange the existing fiber rovings with the hollow fiber. So I was gluing roving by roving. You have about 7 per centimeter. So it's a lot of work. And to exchange, and then you have a little piece of weaving. And then I did laminate, and so that's how I make the first reeds.
That's an impressive amount of dedication and persistence.
Big time,
that you show to that.
And you get, I think it's very important that you have a feeling for the material. You have to be inside of the material to imagine that you know how it works and what you have to change and how it's what it needs.
Yeah. So your experience with it really is very much hands-on. I mean, like
yes.
And I know you still do that. You're still very hands-on in most of what you do. You know, the new epoxy reeds that you make and so on. Everything is a process of experimentation and figuring out, you know, little tweaks and things that will make it better and so on. That's fantastic. So in the end, you did find somebody that does make the kind of fiber, the kind of hollow fiber material that you were really looking for, right? So you don't have to make that fiber yourself anymore.
Yes, at that time we found a company, an American glass producing company. It was called Owens Corning. They're still existing, and they had a new material, prototype material. It was a hollow glass fiber, and so they were delivering us this hollow glass fiber, and finally we find the right way how the weaving has to be, and finally I find a weaver who is doing it for us, because this is not easy. Like I told you before, the normal industrial companies, they really need big quantities, otherwise it's not interesting at all.
It's not worth it for them.
The weaving machines, they are big, and you need about 1 day to load the machines with the yarn. You have right. Two directions. You have the Kette und Schuss. Oh,
no, I don't know
English
the terminology in English either. But you have the cross weave and
yes.
The lengthwise
in the
weave,
one direction, the yarn is being shot by airstream very fast, and the other direction you have the yarn, maybe 1,000 little pieces which are going up and down, changing all the time, and then the other one in the square direction is shot through it. That's how it works. Anyway, we found finally a weaving company in Switzerland, which is really fantastic, and they are working for us since many years, and they are really the best, because we had times where the money was really short, and they didn't care. They say, "Oh yeah, you can pay later, no problem." This is
Nice.
I was very happy because they helped us a lot.
Well, it sounds like you really show the same kind of persistence and creativity as you did it in your music, coming from the music, and the same, like your sign behind you says, there's a passion there that in the musical sense it's passion for expression, and in your engineering sense it's a passion for making it just right, and making it really sound, and making it the best reed. I remember talking to you, trying to get you more interested in the business side of things, and one of the things you told me then was no, I just want to make the best reed for the best players. And
yes,
that is very much still.
It's true. But now, with the more than 30 years of experience, I have to say it's important to know about business, because I could have had it much easier if I did know a little bit more about calculation and business, because you need to earn money, otherwise you cannot exist. And it's now I know that it is very important, and it was like it was, and I'm not unhappy about my way, and I still like my work very much. So, but for everyone who is doing a business, I have to recommend learning about the business in general too.
Of course, yeah. But the beautiful thing really is that when we pick up one of your reeds, we know that you have that 30 years of really passion for getting it right, and giving people different options. Also, like with the different layers and different types of ways you cut the reeds, and every time it's a process of trying it out, and having other people. And I know you take other players' feedback very seriously, and try to make even customized reeds for people, that want a certain thing out of their reed, and so you're very, very attentive to detail, from my experience working with you.
Yes, it's really important to me that the musicians get what they want, that they get the reed to express themselves. I have one of the longest endorsers we have is a wonderful sax player from Switzerland. His name is Roland Graf, but the name as a musician is G Sax.
His stage name, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's endorser, and he says the most important thing is the reed, and I make my equipment. I have the reed, and everything else must fit to the reed, not the other way. The saxophone, it's not important. The saxophone is not very important. It just has to play, and also the mouthpiece, it has to play. It has to be the right opening and everything. But the most important thing is the reed, and so he's really one of the longest endorser we have. He's absolutely happy, and he's still playing the same reeds for all the time.
I actually was talking to another one of our endorsers, Jim Simonetti, I think it was, and he was saying the same thing. It's almost like no, it wasn't Jim. It was I forget his name, but he was saying the same thing. I'm taking this reed and he actually makes mouthpieces too. So he was shaping mouthpieces to work with your reed, and was saying the same thing. But what's interesting, actually, what we were going to ask you, but sort of towards the end of this little interview is G-Sax. You actually are in the process. You've made a special reed for him, and you're actually going to bring it out as a series, as a reed model in its own right. Is that right?
Yes, we have a new series which is called the Artist Series, and the first reed which will be launched with the Artist Series is the G-Sax reed. So the Artist Series is a series where we cooperate very close with the musician, and we also there will be on the website, there will be some recommendation and info about these players. And so we develop a reed which is optimized, and the first reed will be the G-Sax reed. And the difference between the carbon reeds, the normal carbon reeds, and the G-Sax reed is that the G-Sax reed has it has the hard. I mean, you can see it here. You see the hemp reed, and you see the carbon reed, and the hemp reed, it is curved. Here
right.
It's curved, and the other one is not curved. And
right.
so the new G-Sax reed, it will be curved. Well, I can show you.
No,
I have
your original reeds had that curved cut, but
yes.
and then you went away from it for a while, and now you're bringing it back in with the G-Sax reed. Is that right?
Yes. I was finding out that my reeds don't need to be curved, because only cane reeds have to be curved, because the cane is cut out of a round piece of material of the cane, and the cane on the inside, it's a soft material, and on the outside, the skin is a hard material. And so it's cut here, that meaning the sides of the reed is from the hard material, and the middle of the reed is a soft material. So I thought, oh, that's why you need this hard. That's why you have to make it thicker in the middle, because the material is softer. And the logical consequence for me was, okay, I don't need that. So I make this straight reed. And it worked. I mean, it's one of the reeds. I think it's a reed we sell most, but it is not the whole truth. After years, we found out, and also because of the cooperation with G-Sax, that he say, well, these reeds are for him perfect, are still the reeds with the curve. So that's why we say, okay, now we bring out a new carbon reed which has a curve again, and that will be launched in hopefully in May. Yes, because it's also the 20 years anniversary of the cooperation with G-Sax.
Right. So when he first started playing your reeds, were they still a curved cut?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
It
So
never changed. I for the musicians, we have close cooperations. We have sample reeds here, so they come here, and when we found the right thing, we make a couple of reeds, and we leave some here in our workshop. And whenever I have to copy reeds for him and make new ones, I have a reference reed, and so to make sure that he will get exactly what he needs.
Okay. So is that something that anybody who comes to Stuttgart, any musician that comes to Stuttgart, could meet with you and sit with you and work out a reed for them?
Yes, sure. It's possible. Of course, you have to pay for, because
it takes time.
It's not. It takes time, and it's not for free. But there are people coming and want it. Yes, and I do it, and I know how to do it.
That's such a unique thing. It reminds me of the way for the trumpets, the Dave Monet does that. He has people come and he designs the trumpets specifically for the trumpet players, and it's a process, and but it's a beautiful thing to have that available. Stuttgart in itself is a great little town, and there's a lot of technology and innovation happening there, isn't it? What is Stuttgart like in that respect?
Well, Stuttgart is famous because the car is invented here. So the first car was made in Stuttgart from Mr. Gottlieb Daimler, and so from the Mercedes company. So they invented the first cars here. Yeah. And also other really big companies like the Bosch. I don't know if you know Bosch. They make a lot of things for the car, and tools. Also tools and the whole drilling machines and everything. Well, this is also founded in Stuttgart, so it's a good place for inventions.
Yeah. That's so. I recommend anybody who is traveling in Stuttgart. In fact, that's where I met you too. When you were in your younger days, you were coming to a festival. I think you were there to see Sonny Rollins and trying to show him your reeds at the time, and you took a little time out of your busy day to show us some reeds when we were playing there.
Yes, I remember. It was the festival. It's still existing. It's always in June, and the festival is called the Jazz Open. And I was meeting Sonny Rollins and also the Joss Stone. It's a singer, and they have also a good saxophone player who was playing with
James Brown. I think it was James Brown before.
Yes, exactly. And the blues band of your the guy you were playing with. What was his name again?
Solomon Burke. Yeah, I was there with Solomon
exactly.
Burke.
That's where I met you, and it was an important meeting for me because we are still working together.
Yeah, that was a good show and a good time. I think Joss actually came and played with us, sang with us a couple of tunes with us. I guess I had one more thing that I wanted to bring up, is because of the whole music and engineering relationship. You have a passion for Afro-Cuban music, I think, and you're still playing, as far as I know, in a few different bands, and one of them being a Latin Afro-Cuban band. And I think you put together, I mean, I've seen the book of a bunch of Afro-Cuban jazz tunes. Is that right?
Yes. Absolutely. This is my great love in music, is Afro-Cuban music and also blues. I'm actually, I don't have that much time, but I'm still playing in a few bands, and I'm playing every second Friday in the month. I'm playing in a club in Stuttgart. Whenever someone is coming to Stuttgart, come on Friday to the Kiste, and you can hear me playing. And the other band is a Latin band called Caballo Negro, and it's a big band with 4 trombones, and I'm playing the baritone saxophone. And anyway, I was working with Cuban musicians, and I thought, oh, there is no music which you can use for the for playing for. I mean, there was Ebersold, salsa, and Latin, but further than that, I didn't find anything which I liked a lot. So I decided to make a book, and I put together some songs. I don't know how many exactly, maybe 15, 16 songs, typical Cuban songs. And the nice thing about this book, this has 2 volumes. One is for the melody instrument, and volume 2 is for the percussion and the rhythm group, the rhythm section. Right. And you can, and the melody has also the lyrics. So when you have the volume 1, you can learn it by yourself as a play along, and while you have the band. But in the recording by the balance, you can turn off the percussion. So also a percussion player can learn. And in the volume 2 is written the percussion things, what they play. So it's a book. You can, if you have these 2 books, you can give it to the whole ensemble. If you have a Latin ensemble as a teacher, you can use it, or you just use it as a single musician. So a lot of possibilities to use that.
That is awesome, and you can find that on your website, I think. And
yes.
You still have it out there. It's a great resource. Well, I think we have to kind of wrap it up. I was reminded when you said that you do all these things. I mean, you just like you never stop. And I have to say, the only time I've seen you rest really is when you've been asleep. So it's just so impressive to see the energy and the love you have for what you do. And I hope we can do this again. We'll do another. Be doing more podcasts.
Absolutely. I mean, it was my first podcast, and I must say it wasn't that terrible. And I think no, we can do it again. It's nice. I like it, and it's a good chance for people to get some information about the whole thing and what I'm doing here.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic. Well, have a great day. I know it's morning where you are, and no, actually, it's evening. It's morning where I am.
No, I'm going to the rehearsal now with my Latin band. Yeah,
there you go.
Every Tuesday.
That is awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, thanks for doing this and making it happen that we make this interview. I really appreciate that.
Absolutely. Thank you, Johannes.
Yeah, thank you, Danny, Harry. This was awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll see you all next time.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
You have been listening to a podcast presented by Fiberreed. Reeds built to last, providing you consistent precision sound quality you can count on.